Look closely at this frame. A female mantis methodically bites the head off the male immediately after mating. Biologists have argued for decades about why she does this. Hunger? An accident? A mistake? No, it is not a mistake. It is a cold, calculated mechanism of evolution. A mechanism that is not discussed in polite society because it terrifies us to our core. And the scariest part is that this mechanism is not just hardwired into insects. It is hardwired into the woman sleeping next to you right now. Do you think her sudden tantrums are just a bad mood? Do you think her constant nagging, her attempts to change you, her sudden coldness are just a difficult personality? You are fatally mistaken. We are used to romanticizing women. Poets and artists have spent centuries instilling in us the image of the muse, the keeper of the hearth, the gentle mother. But the great psychiatrist Carl Jung knew that the archetype of the great mother has another face. A dark face. The face of the goddess Kali dancing on corpses. The face of Medusa. The face of the devouring mother. There is a cruel law in nature called genetic sanitation. The female mantis kills the male not because she is evil. She does it because he has fulfilled his function and is no longer needed. Or, even worse, because he turned out to be too weak to survive beside her. Today, I will put forward a theory that might shatter your rose-colored glasses forever. A woman subconsciously wants to destroy you. Her biology tests your psyche for durability every single day. And if you do not withstand it, she will not just leave. She will turn your life into ruins to make room for the strong one. This video is not for the faint of heart. This is the black pill of evolutionary psychology and Jungian analysis. But I must warn you, if you only watch until the middle, you might draw the wrong conclusions and become bitter at the world. I will reveal the most important key to salvation at the very end. Therefore, before we begin our dive, I ask you to like this video right now. And if you are here for the first time and are ready to learn the truth, whatever it may be, subscribe right now. Before we move on to the psyche, let us dismantle the foundation. Why does this inequality exist at all? Why must a man pursue and a woman choose? This is not a cultural norm. This is a biological imperative described in 1948 by geneticist Angus Bateman. Bateman's principle states, the energetic cost of an egg is billions of times higher than the cost of a sperm. Think about that. Your cells are cheap. There are millions of them. You can produce them every day until you die. Her cells are expensive. They are scarce. And most importantly, a mistake in choosing a partner costs her 9 months of pregnancy and years of nursing. A mistake in choosing a partner costs you 5 minutes of pleasure. That is exactly why evolution hardwired the hypergamy program into her brain. Hypergamy is an instinct that forces a woman to seek a man who is better than her. Stronger, smarter, richer, higher status. She cannot love someone who is her equal. And she despises someone who is below her. This is not arrogance. This is the protection of her precious genetic material. You can be the kindest, most caring simp in the herd. But if your genetics do not pass the hypergamy filter, you are invisible to her. Or, at best, a resource provider. A temporary placeholder until the alpha arrives. But there is a law even more terrifying. A law formulated by the French surgeon and anthropologist Robert Briffault in 1927. This law explains every divorce, every betrayal, and every departure into nowhere that men face. Briffault's law states, the female, not the male, determines all the conditions of the animal family, where the female can derive no benefit from association with the male. No such association takes place. Translate this into human language. Any union exists only as long as it is profitable for the woman. Men love to think about duty, honor, vows at the altar. To nature, these are empty sounds. Nature is pragmatic. As soon as you stop bringing the mammoth, protecting the cave, or attention, giving her strong emotions, Briffault's law comes into force. You are fired. In the world of mantises, this firing means death. In the human world, it means the taking of assets, children, and alimony. But the essence is the same. You stopped being an asset and became a liability. And liabilities are discarded. Now that we understand the laws of the market, let us look inside her skull. What happens at the level of neurotransmitters when you behave like a good boy? Many men believe in the myth of partnership. They think, if I do everything she wants, she will be happy. This is a fatal error based on a misunderstanding of the female dopamine system. The female brain is evolutionarily wired to seek safety through strength. But safety is boring. Safety does not trigger dopamine. Dopamine is the hormone of anticipation, the hormone of the hunt, the hormone of uncertainty. When you are 100% predictable, when you are always available, when you answer her messages in 3 seconds, you kill the uncertainty. You become an open book. Her dopamine receptors go to sleep. She gets bored. And boredom for a woman is synonymous with the death of the relationship. Moreover, the reverse effect kicks in. If you are too soft, her limbic system, the emotional brain, starts to get anxious. Why is he so weak? Why does he forgive everything? Maybe he knows he is unworthy of me? Maybe he is hiding a defect. This anxiety grows into aggression. This is the mechanism of that very crash test. She starts biting you not because she wants to hurt you. She is trying to wake the beast in you. She provokes conflict to see your strength, to see how you slam your fist on the table and say, "Enough. If you do not do this, if you try to smooth the corners," you send her a signal. There is no beast. Nobody is home. I am empty. And then her attraction switches off like a light in a room. Darkness falls. And in this darkness, the mantis wakes up, ready for dinner. The crash test mechanism. Why does she break the strong? Let us start with the foundation. Why does a woman start nagging? Why does she create drama out of thin air, exactly when everything seems good and stable? Regular family psychologists will tell you, she just lacks attention. Buy her flowers, talk to her. This is a lie. And this is the most dangerous advice you can get. Evolutionary psychology gives a completely different answer. A woman is not looking for attention. She is conducting a crash test. A woman is, first and foremost, a biological filter. For millions of years of evolution, her main task was to prevent the reproduction of a weak gene. Her womb is the most expensive resource in nature, and she has no right to waste it on a defective male. Asterisk, and here begins the problem of the modern man. When you relax, when you reach comfort, when you become a couch potato and start putting her above your goals, her ancient reptilian brain reads this as an alarm signal. A red light flashes in her head. The male has weakened. He is degrading. He is no longer capable of protecting the offspring. He is genetic trash. And then the mantis archetype activates. She starts attacking. At first, these are small pricks, sarcasm, hints, comparisons with other men. If you swallow this, the attacks intensify. Her goal is not to humiliate you for pleasure. Her goal is to check if the man is still alive in you. It is analogous to a hydraulic press crushing metal to test its breaking point. Biology knows no pity. It does not care about your sensitive soul. If in response to her aggression you start apologizing, trying to please, running for gifts, or worst of all, crying, you fail the test. You confirm your status as weak. And at that moment, a chemical shift occurs in her body. Her dopamine and oxytocin levels toward you drop. Attraction disappears. In its place comes biological disgust. She starts looking at you not as a male, but as an annoying child or a sick animal that needs to be put down. she eats your head. That is, destroys your self-esteem and your masculinity. Because nature demands the disposal of weak material to free up space for a new, strong male. And before we move on to how this changes your own hormonal system, I have a short question. Has it happened in your life that you opened your soul to a woman, showed kindness and softness, and received only coldness and contempt in return? Put a plus in the comments if this is familiar. Let us see how many of us there are who have gone through this mate, grinder, chemical castration, the synchronization effect. But the scariest part happens not even at the level of scandals. It happens at the quiet, invisible level of biochemistry. Have you ever noticed that men in long-term, calm relationships often get fat, lose the fire in their eyes, and turn into an amorphous mass? Science calls this the nesting effect. I call it biological castration. Studies show that a man who is constantly in close emotional contact with a woman and children sees his testosterone levels drop, while prolactin and cortisol levels rise. Nature does this on purpose. It needs not an aggressive conqueror, but a calm provider. Safe, like a castrated bull in a stall. When you sleep with a woman, when you live by her rhythms, when you get involved in her chaos, your psyche starts mirroring her psyche. Jung called this anima possession. You become moody, touchy, emotionally unstable. You start being hysterical in response to her tantrums. You turn into a woman. This is the comfort trap. A woman subconsciously strives to domesticate you so that you are a safe resource. But here lies the Mantis paradox. She demands that you become soft, understanding, and domestic. But as soon as you agree and become like that, she stops wanting you as a man. She starts despising you. This is the level of depth we will be uncovering in every video of ours. If this is the uncensored approach you are looking for, then now is the perfect moment to subscribe to the channel. Do not let the algorithms hide the truth from you. Numbers do not lie. Why divorce is not about cheating. Let us turn to dry statistics. In the US and Europe, more than 70% of divorces are initiated by women. In Russia, this figure reaches 80%. Why? Ordinary people think the reason is cheating, alcoholism, or violence. But when sociologists start interviewing these women, the most frequent answer sounds frighteningly vague. I just fell out of love. He became a stranger to me. He stopped developing. Behind these phrases lies the truth we spoke of at the beginning. He did not stop developing. He stopped being dangerous. He stopped being a resource in terms of emotions. He became a predictable function. There is a terrifying term in family law: walk-away wife syndrome. This is a situation where a man does everything right for years. He works, he brings money, he washes dishes, he spends time with the kids. He thinks he is accumulating points in her eyes. He thinks relationships are a savings account in a bank. I did so much good, so I am insured. But there is no accumulation system in Briffault's law. Every day the account resets to zero. She does not care what you did yesterday. All that matters is who you are today. And so, one fine day, she comes and says, "We need to break up." For the man, it is a shock. How can this be? I did everything for you. But for her, it is a logical outcome. You turned into a servant. And servants are not desired. Servants are replaced when they wear out. This is the black pill of social dynamics. Your sacrifice is needed by no one. Your sacrifice evokes pity, and pity is the gravedigger of passion. The mantis looks at the sacrificial male and sees only one thing: easy prey. The sun complex and the ritual of CYBE. To understand why this happens, we have to descend into the darkest basements of mythology. In ancient times, there was a cult of the goddess Cybele, the Great Mother. Her priests, in a fit of ecstasy, castrated themselves to prove their devotion to her. They gave up their masculine power in exchange for the right to serve the mother. The modern man does the same thing. Only instead of a ritual knife, he uses the nice guy behavior model. He seeks a mommy in his wife. He seeks approval. He asks for permission. He fears her anger like a child fears a belt dot. It is this inner boy that she tries to devour with her tests. Remember the cruel truth. A woman cannot experience sexual attraction to a child. A child can be taken care of. A child can be punished. But he cannot be desired. As long as you seek her approval, you occupy the bottom position. You are a supplicant. And the mantis always eats the supplicant. If she feels that you need her more than she needs you, you are doomed. She will press on your pain points until she destroys you completely, or until you find the strength to grow up. How to survive? The ritual of killing the boy. Is there a way out of this trap? Yes, but it will require cold cruelty toward yourself. To survive next to the mantis woman, you must kill the boy inside you. You must commit metaphorical suicide. You must kill your need for her love. You must kill your fear of losing her. In psychology, this method is sometimes called the gray rock method, but I call it the Sphinx strategy. When she starts the crash test, screams, accuses, provokes, threatens divorce, you must not defend yourself. You must not attack. Any emotion from you is food for the mantis. You must look at this with absolute, icy indifference. You do not ignore her, no. You look right through her hysteria. You must broadcast the state. You cannot destroy me. I am harder than your emotions. I am in charge here, and I will not play your games. The moment she realizes that her poisonous teeth break against your mental armor, a real miracle happens. Asterisk, you are not in love with her. You are in love with a hologram. Now we must touch upon a topic that might hurt you. But this pain is necessary for insight. Carl Jung said, "The encounter with oneself belongs to the most unpleasant things." Let us meet ourselves. Why does the mantis have such power over you at all? Why do you let her destroy you? Because you men never see the real woman. You see your anima. Anima is the female part of the male soul. It is an ideal image imprinted in your subconscious. It is a set of your expectations, your dreams, your thirst for warmth. When you meet a woman, you do not fall in love with her. You perform a projection. You take this ideal image of the anima and, like a projector, beam it onto the first pretty girl you see. You attribute qualities to her that she does not have. You think, she is a goddess. She is kindness itself. She is the one. But this is a lie. She is an ordinary human, with her fears, complexes, greed, and selfishness. But you fell in love with a hologram, and you begin to serve this hologram. And here the tragedy begins. The woman feels this projection. At first, she likes it, but then it becomes heavy for her. She realizes, he does not love me. He loves his fantasy. He does not see my shadow. He does not see my inner predator. And then, unconsciously, she starts destroying your illusion. She starts behaving terribly. She starts showing her darkest traits. Why? To shatter the hologram, so that you finally see her, real, dangerous, earthly. But the man refuses to believe. He thinks she is broken. I must save or fix her. No, my friend. She is not broken. She finally showed her true face. The mantis rips off the fairy mask. And if you continue to hug the mask, the mantis will bite your face off. Jungian stages, from Eve to Sophia. Why you are stuck. At the bottom, Jung identified 4 stages of the development of male perception of women. And 90% of men get stuck at the first. Most primitive stage? Stage 1. Eve. This is the perception of a woman only as a biological object. The giver of life, mother, body. At this stage, a man wants to be fed, pleasured, and taken care of. This is the stage of infantile dependence. And this is exactly where the fiercest mantis females dwell. Because Eve is not only life, it is also expulsion from paradise. Stage 2. Helen of Troy. This is the stage of romantic passion and chaos. Woman as a prize. Woman as a problem. A man is ready to destroy his life to possess a beautiful body. Most dramas and divorces happen here. You fight for Helen, but forget that Helen always leads to war. Only a few reach the stages of Mary, spiritual partnership, and Sophia, wisdom. But to get there, you must stop being hungry. As long as you are hungry for the female body. As long as you are hungry for approval, you will always be a victim of Eve and Helen. You must feed your spirit with something else. A cause, a mission, war, art. Only a well-fed lion cannot be lured into a trap with a piece of meat. Become well-fed. Become autonomous. And the mantis's spell will dissipate. Asterisk the king's toolkit. How to hold frame under fire. We analyzed the why. Now, let us analyze the how. How exactly to behave when she starts the crash test. When she says you are a loser? When she threatens to leave? Most men make two mistakes. They either make excuses, the victim position, or scream back, the hysterical position. Both options are defeat. You need a third way. The Stoic way. The way of the mental fulcrum. Technique number 1. Emotional Aikido, or fog. Imagine you are fog. Can you hit fog? No. A fist passes through it without causing harm. When she attacks, you earn too little. You have become boring. Do not argue. Agree with part of the truth, but without emotion. Say calmly, perhaps you are right. Lately, I have indeed been focused on other things. And go silent. This puts her system into a stupor. She expected resistance to increase the impact, but she fell into the void. Your calmness is a wall against which her waves crash. Technique number 2. Pendulum amplitude. Remember, he who reacts submits. In a couple, there is always one who sets the frame, the reality, and one who lives in this frame. If she is sad, and you also become sad, you are in her frame. You are a servant. A king always has his own weather front. Does she have a storm? You have sunshine. Is she furious? You are in calm contemplation. You must become a mental anchor. She will try to rock you. That is her nature. But if the anchor holds the bottom, the ship, your relationship, will survive. If the anchor breaks loose, you will be smashed against the rocks. Technique number 3. The predator gaze. This is a non-verbal technique. When she starts a baseless conflict, stop listening to the words. Words are noise. Look her straight in the eyes, not with anger, but with studying interest, like a scientist looks at a strange insect. Pause for 5 seconds before answering. This pause is a demonstration of power. Weak people are afraid of silence, they chatter. Strong people control silence. In this silence, your power is born. Say quietly and firmly, I hear your emotions, but I will not accept this tone. When you calm down, we will talk. And leave the room, or go about your business. This is called attention withdrawal. The scariest punishment for a woman is not screaming. It is depriving her of your attention. Applying these 3 techniques, you will stop being food. You will become a tamer. And strangely enough, this is exactly what she wants from you. She wants taming. Because only next to a tamer can she relax and become a woman again. And not a raging fury. Transformation. From devouring to worship. Archetype of the Devouring Mother instantly switches to the archetype of the Divine Beloved. A woman does not want to be a killer. Evolution forces her to be an executioner only for the weak. As soon as she meets someone who cannot be eaten, she falls to her knees before him. Her biological program changes. This male is too strong. I must serve him. I must keep him at any cost to get his genes. Her toxicity turns into loyalty. Her tantrums turn into passion. She wanted to kill you to test you. You survived. Now you are the king. Remember, woman is nature, and nature is cruel. It does not tolerate emptiness and weakness. Every time you compromise your conscience for the sake of peace in the family, you put your head on the chopping block. Stop looking for a mommy in her. Relationships are a war in which you must win every day. Not by violence, but by unbending spirit. That be who you are supposed to be. And then the mantis will turn into a butterfly dot in the next video. We will go even further. We will talk about why modern men are massively refusing real women and choosing artificial intelligence. We will analyze the phenomenon of the digital anima, pornography, and the death of real relationships. It will be an even harsher breakdown dot to not miss it. Make sure you are subscribed and have clicked the bell. The choice is yours. Be food or be a predator. Until next time.